Hello guys, how are we all doing? A happy new year to everyone, wishing you all a very happy 2023. We've got championship predictions, the fixtures are coming so thick and fast at the moment, it's unreal. I'm joined by Sophie, how you doing?
Very well, thank you, how are you?
Yeah, Cov 0-0 with Cardiff.
Yeah, not great, but yeah. I didn't think that was a good performance from us, to be honest, so...
No, probably fairish. Guys, do make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Like I say, thank you so much for your support in 2022. Do make sure you're subscribed as we go into 2023. Let's get into the championship predictions, guys, starting with Blackburn Rovers versus Cardiff City. Now, Blackburn, they keep losing, but they're just still hanging in there. You wonder if they could just chuck more points on. Can they just ride it out for the season? It's so tight. Cardiff, we saw come to Coventry, 0-0. They've drawn quite a few games. But Blackburn haven't drawn any games. What's going to give here? Do you know what? I think Blackburn might edge it. They need points, honestly. They've been losing games and this is a winnable one. Although Cardiff will give them credit for their performance at Coventry, I think Blackburn might just pinch it 1-0.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to give Cardiff credit for their performance against Coventry, I think they came for a point and they got the point. And I think that's what they're doing. And I think they'll probably do the same against Blackburn. However, I do think Blackburn will slightly edge it, but I see it being a really low scoring game if Cardiff play the way they did against us. So 1-0. Yeah,
agreeing with me. Okay, on to the next one. It's Blackpool versus Sunderland. Now, Blackpool are still down there. They've had some tough games. Sheffield United was always going to be tricky. This isn't easy either. Sunderland are really looking good at the moment. Sunderland right up in the playoff picture now. What a win at Wigan.
Just had one of their players recalled though.
Ellis Sims recalled, Ross Stewart possibly going in January, so maybe Tony Mowbray will retool in January, but they still look very good to finish in the playoffs. Blackpool are battling. I'm going to go for a little bit of a surprise here. I'm going to back Blackpool. They need the win and they'll get it. 2-1.
Oh, okay, no, I've got to disagree with you there. I think Sunderland are flying at the moment. Even without Sims, I think they'll be all right. They do need to keep hold of Stewart though. So going into this, I can only see a Sunderland away win. I'm going to say 2-1. So,
2-1 to the Black Cats.
Opposite to you.
Opposites, right. Back to the CBS. Coventry City take on Bristol City. Both sides drew 0-0 in midweek. We drew 0-0 when we played them at their place as well. So a few things pointing towards a 0-0. And you feel like Bristol City would be fairly pleased coming to get a point at the CBS the way they are. We spoke about the negativity with Nigel Pearson there. It wasn't a bad 0-0 to get a draw at Millwall, where it's quite a tricky place to go. Once again, this will be slightly tricky for Bristol City. It's not impossible, they could pinch it as well. But Coventry's got a little bit more positivity, although the form is a little bit inconsistent, and obviously we now know Callum O'Hare's injury, ACL, terrible. I think this will be really tight. I think it could be another draw, but I will just edge Coventry. If Gyökeres can just get one goal, I think we could pinch this. 1-0 Coventry.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same, 1-0 City. I can see this playing out as a draw again though, and I'll be really disappointed if we get 2 draws at home. Especially against Bristol City as well, who aren't in the best of form at the moment. So really, this is another winnable game. So for me, it's kind of like dropping points rather than gaining one. But I'm going to have to back us to win anyway. So 1-0 City.
1-0. Right, now this is really interesting. Huddersfield Town versus Luton Town. Remember, this was a playoff match last season. Luton are looking really good at the moment. They've actually turned things around despite the managerial change. But Huddersfield are also shooting up the table. So this is a battle of 2 teams starting to pick up the form. Huddersfield obviously trying to survive. I think they could do it. I've said for a little while, I think they've got the quality to. Now they're just starting to pull the results in. Really good win against Rotherham. But Luton to win 3-0 at QPR, you cannot avoid how good a result that is. Luton I'd make slight favourites as the higher team in the table, but I'm going to say Huddersfield are improving, so I'm going to go for a draw, 1-1.
Yeah, I was really tempted to say a draw as well, but I'm going to have to back the Hatters to win this. I'm going to say 2-1 Luton, but I do think this is going to be quite a tight game. Yeah,
really, really big one that. On to the Den as Millwall play Rotherham. Millwall not quite great against Bristol City after that win at Watford. We all thought, it's looking good. This is winnable though. Rotherham are really sliding down the table, and Rotherham away from home, I don't have much confidence in. I think this is a really tricky one for Rotherham. I'll go for Millwall, but I'll go tight. 1-0 to Millwall.
Back in a 1-0 Millwall. I'm going to say 2-0 Millwall. I think they need to get back to winning ways. They looked really, really good against Watford, and then midweek they just seem to completely fall off it. So I think New Year's Day they're going to get back to winning ways for me, purely because Rotherham are not looking good, especially as you said, away from home. So for me, Millwall 2-0.
2-0, wow. Okay, on to St Andrews. Birmingham City take on flying Middlesbrough. Birmingham City not great to lose at home to Hull City.
No, that was a bad one.
Bit confused by that because I thought Birmingham City were a team we could say were in this playoff discussion, and they've fallen down the table a little bit here. Tricky game. Middlesbrough in great form, but Birmingham could surprise us with a result here. I think it'll be really tight. Birmingham will make it cagey, but I might go for a 1-0 defeat for Blues again. Middlesbrough flying 1-0 Borough.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 Borough. I think Middlesbrough's form at the moment can't be ignored, and that's why I'm backing them. As you said, Blues losing 1-0 to Hull, that is a really poor result. But the table is so tight, you can't really rule anyone out of the playoff chase.
No.
So they're still kind of in it for me. But Middlesbrough win for me, so 2-1.
2-1. This is interesting. Norwich City versus Watford. Now, two sides that came down, but they're not keeping the pace with Burnley. They're both in and amongst that playoff picture, but Watford got smashed 4-0 by Swansea. Norwich, meanwhile...
I wasn't expecting that either, to be fair.
I don't know where that came from.
But yeah.
Watford in pretty bad form now, if you look at it. Meanwhile, Norwich changed the manager. They got a draw against Reading. It's not a great result, but you feel like it's a platform to build on. And at home to an out-of-sorts Watford, I think Norwich could get back to winning ways. 2-0 to the Canaries.
Yeah, so when you look at Watford's squad, for me, they're massively underperforming. And the way they get rid of managers, I think Billick...
He's under pressure.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure at the moment. So I'm going to say quite a tight game, but I'm going to have to back the home team. So 1-0 Norwich.
Okay, 1-0. Right, on to Stoke versus Preston. Both sides lost last time out. Preston away at West Brom. That was always going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Preston are a good away team, so can they bounce back here? Stoke City, they lost, but they played Burnley. To lose 1-0 to Burnley is actually not a terrible result
not that bad.
in the Championship. Really not a lot in this. I think this could be a draw. I might edge Stoke, though. 1-0 Stoke.
No, I'm going to back the away team again. They failed me last time. I thought Preston might do West Brom. They let me down, but I'm backing them again, and I think they might do it. I do think, again, it could be quite a tight game. So for me, it was either toss-up between 1-0 and 2-1. I'm going to say low scoring, so 1-0 Preston.
Okay, right, next stop, Swansea City take on Burnley. Now, this is interesting because Burnley are flying.
Yeah.
Swansea were in really bad form, but to beat Watford 4-0 is one of the results of the season. Honestly, that is incredible. Really tough game for Swansea, though. Burnley are flying. I just don't see anyone stopping them. They're winning game after game after game, and I don't feel like it's sensible to even go against Burnley for the rest of the season now. Even though Swansea were brilliant, I'll give them credit. Swansea 1, Burnley 2.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually going to go the same. I was half tempted to say a draw, but any time it looks like Burnley might either lose a game or draw a game, they pull it out of the bag. And I think they're going to do it again against Swansea, so 2-1 Burnley. Okay,
right, on to the Hawthorns. West Brom continue their stampede up the division. They take on Reading, who got a draw at Norwich. Reading are once again in that playoff conversation. They're in the middle of the table, but West Brom are certainly the team over a long course of time that are now gunning in the best form, and I can't see Reading coming and stopping West Brom here, not the Hawthorns. West Brom to win again. I'll say 2-0 to the Baggies.
Yeah, I think this could be quite a high scoring game. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling that West Brom could roll Reading, and I think Reading are an alright team. It's just the form West Brom are in at the moment, so for me, 3-0 to the Baggies.
3-0? Wow, yeah. I don't blame you, though. West Brom are flying.
0-0, but
yeah, they are flying, West Brom, honestly. Really good to see. Next up, we go to Wigan versus Hull. Massive game. Wigan really struggling down there. Hull City, meanwhile, great win at Birmingham. And, yeah, they played quite well in that game. Away here to Wigan, who are really struggling. I just think under Kolo Toure, they just don't look great. I don't know if he's even going to last that long based on what he's done so far. I'm going to back the away team here. Wigan 1, Hull City 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not looking good for Wigan at all. Sitting rock bottom of the table, not getting any results at the moment. And I think Hull's confidence will be quite high coming off that away win, because that was a really good result. So I think they're going to pick up another one. As I say, not being very impressed with Wigan. So 2-0 to Hull for me. 2-0,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the final game. It's Queen's Park Rangers versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United continue to pull the points in. Good win at Blackpool last time, and away to QPR, who got smashed by Luton. Yeah. I just can't back QPR here. I really can't. Sheffield United are flying. I think it's just done and dusted already. Burnley and Sheffield United, they are so clear of the rest of us.
Yeah.
Sheffield United win this comfortably. I'll say 2-0 to the Blades.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-0 to the Blades. As I said when we saw them not even a week ago, I thought they looked good, but not at their best, and they completely did a job on us. So it just says everything about their season. They're having a very, very good season.
Absolutely.
And yeah, for me, it's going to be 3-0, easy win for them.
Yeah, Sheffield United flying. That wraps up our Championship predictions, guys. Do get your predictions down below. Wishing you all a very happy new year. Do make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.